Hi, welcome to SAP Actual Costing Expert Level. Today, we are going to look into the mixed costing scenario 3. Let me now share with you what is the scenario, and then we will see what is the solution and how we will configure. Okay. So as you are already aware, the SAP product cost training, okay, we have foundational, okay, and expert level. Both of these are separate offerings. These are available as in Udemy. Some of these videos I have loaded in YouTube also. So you may want to visit the YouTube page also, S4 HANA product costing with my name there. So Rajan Iyer, you can visit there. You will be able to see. So let's go here. Okay, what is the scenario we have? We have a scenario where you have two different assembly lines, right? Your company have already been the last 1.5 decade or 10 to 20 years, they have been using one particular assembly line for producing, let us say, steel, coils or something like that, right? Now they have invested into a new assembly line with a new robotic machinery, right? The machinery is new, thereby the production time is significantly reduced, the labor costs are reduced, right? Now you have two different assembly lines to produce the same finished good, right? So the processes changes, right? The bill of material that you require may also change. You may not require the same amount of raw material. You may require less raw material to produce more output. That also can be one use case, right? So two different production lines, which means two different BOM, two different routing, but you cannot decommission the old process because you already have some investment and you have not reached your intended ROI. You still have some life left in the old production line, so you want to deplete that production life, whatever is there for that particular assembly line. So you want to continue to use both of these assembly lines, and your management is asking, what is the appropriate production mix. So how much percentage of the production volume should I produce from assembly line 1, and how much should I produce from assembly line 2. Now to come to a determination of assembly line 1, assembly line 2, which one to use for at what proportion, you need to understand the cost estimate of producing your finished good or SFG using both the assembly line, and then recommend an appropriate mix for that, right? So let's now go into it. What do you need to do? We need a valuation type. Sorry, I need to change this. Give me 1 second. So I just changed it. So you have FG old, FG new, old assembly line and new assembly line, and then you have the main valuation type. So you'll have to create two more valuation type and a main valuation type. Assign these two valuation type to the global category. You need to define three different valuation classes. Okay, then yeah, of course the inventory account, if you want to maintain separately, you can use different GL accounts, or you can use the same GL account. Give me 1 second. Okay, and GRIR clearing account will be the same. The consumption accounts will be different. You can set it differently. Your COGM, when you do your goods receipt, right? So you want to maintain separate consumption account, COGM accounts. You can maintain the COGM accounts. You will not have price difference because we have two sets of differences, right? One on account of material. So one on account of material purchase, whatever you get it, that is called price variance. Then one on account of production that you are resulting is called production variance. Now in this case, we are not buying these finished goods externally. We are producing using two different assembly line. So obviously there is no price difference on account of material purchase, right? We have production variance, which will be mapped using the transaction key PRD and the general modifier PRF. So we will create three different GL accounts for that. Then appropriately wherever required, we will set the OKB9 and OKTZ also we will assign. Fair enough. Now before going into the steps, I will first show you the process that we will be doing. So we will create a global valuation category. Okay, to that we will have a production version, right? Production version, old assembly line, BOM and routing for old assembly line. Then we will create one for production version for new assembly line, BOM for new assembly line, routing for new assembly line, and then we will compare it, right? And how it picks up the main critical factor here is when the material is estimated, which valuation type does it use? right? Whether it will use old, whether it will be new, or will it be based on the ratios that we are defining. This is one aspect. This is before when you are doing the estimate, right? Standard cost estimate. Now when you are doing the actual production, based on which valuation, which assembly line are you issuing your goods and receiving the goods, this is the another factor. These are the two things that we need to understand here. Okay, so let's go about it. Let's get into the SAP and we will do the configuration. Okay, one more thing is we'll just check the steps. Okay, activate split valuation. This step we have done in the scenario 1 itself. This is at the client level, we need not do it again, but I will show you the screen. Okay, configure split valuation, define valuation class, create GL accounts, do the account determination, maintain cost component structure. Once we do this, then I will come to the second set of settings. Okay, so let's go to SAP. Okay, SPRO /N. I will use the shortcut key SIMG. Okay, go to material management. In material management, you go to the valuation and account assignment. Go to split valuation. Activate split valuation. You see, it is already active. Done. Now back, configure split valuation. Okay, once you come to this screen, what you will have to do, you click on cancel. Okay, you will have to create a global category. First thing that you have to do is create a global category. So I will go here, global category. If you see, I had earlier created something called FG old new. Okay, I will have to create something else. Okay, once again, just to show you how to create it. Okay, FG old new. I'll create one more. So it was a good name, FG old new. So what is the number availability? I have a single digit 9. I will do 9. I'll take up 9. So I'll say create. So I'll say 9. So instead of FG old new, what else can I say? Okay, I'll say FG old new version 2. Version 2. Okay. So I'm creating a global category. Okay. I'm not applying default external procedure. External procurement is not available. In-house production is mandatory. Of course, we are doing both the methods are in-house production mandatory. And 9. Once again, you have to click on create. Okay, this is the only change I find it a little bit confusing. Why again I have to click? Usually in SAP, once you create it, you can click on save. But even if you save, it doesn't get created. I'll show you. See, enter mandatory default. It says okay. Let's say I will remove the in-house production mandatory. Now enter. Okay, if I save it, does it get saved? No changes made. But if I go back, this will not be there. Is it there? See, the step 9 is not there. So that's why it is asking us to click on the create button twice. So I have entered, clicked create 9, given FG old new 2, and then again create it. Now it should give me the message. See, valuation category 9 was created. Okay. Now save it back. So now you can find this FG old new 2, right? FG old new 2. Version 2. Okay, save. Now I can go back and create types, global types. Here I will create a type called FG old, FG new, finished goods, right? So go here, FG finished good using old assembly line. Are you going to purchase externally? Of course not. So 0 not allowed. 0 is not 0, no external purchase allowed. 2 means allowed. Right, internal purchase orders means internally you are buying, which is internally you are producing. Account category reference, right, the bridge between the FI and MM. So here you will have 009 for finished product, 009. Save. Okay, now I think you have to click the create button. So done, create and then save. Done. Now I'll create one more called FG new. So let me show you. FG old is created. See, FG old is created. So I'll come back again. I will click the create button. So now I'll say new 020009. Click the create button and say save and back. Now what you got? FG new and FG old. Now come back, one step back, go to global categories. In global categories, you have to assign types to category. Select the new type that you have created, which is 9, right? In this 9, click on types and category. Search for FG new. and click on activate. Similarly, select FG old, click on activate. So now whatever types you have created, you have assigned it to the valuation category. Now save. Then we'll go and assign it to plant, back, local definitions. Okay. You can either scroll down or click on this page down button. I have to click the page down button, BB10. This BB10, I have to assign it to my category, which is 9, FG old new, activate, save, back. I have one more plant, BB20. Select BB20, categories to OU, select the 9 FG old new and say activate and then save. Okay. Now back. So this is all the step that you are required to do here. Okay. Now that we have done, we can go back and create valuation class. Valuation class, you do it in account determination. Account determination without wizard. Define valuation classes. Click on execute button. Click on valuation class. Okay. Now I have created earlier B30 or B40, right, for finished goods. Now I'll create for old assembly line and new assembly line B41 and B42, right? So copy as, so it will be B41 FG goods old assembly line. So this will be old assembly line B100. I'll take it old assembly line. Done. Then we'll make B42. B42 will be new assembly line. Okay. Now it can happen. This is a completely robotized factory assembly line. Everything from start to end could be a robotic based. Okay. B42 save. Okay. So I'm saving it. So with this, the valuation class is done. So I have three different classes B40, 41, 42. So I have to go here and assign that one in the PPT. In the PPT, did I use B31? So it should be 41. 41, B40 and B42. That's it. Okay. So now we will create the GL accounts. Okay. So now we will go and create the inventory accounts. Right, inventory accounts will create the GBB consumption account as well as the COGM account as well as the production variance account, right? So I hope you now are very clear with what is price variance account and what is production variance account, right? So let me now go to SAP. So now that is done, so let's go here /n not FS00. In FS00, we go to current assets. Let's first create inventory accounts. You have FG account here 230, right? So I'll copy as, make it 231, 231, enter, and then I'll say FG old assembly line, old assembly. Okay, old assembly line. I'm creating this assembly line. Let me see if I can enter one more letter. There is a length limitation, ASS E. Okay, so I don't have much space left here. So inventory, let me see if I can remove this inventory FG old assembly line. So ESS EMBL, enter. Okay, go to control data. Look into control data. There's nothing much, only local currency. Create bank interest G006 and post automatically save. So 231 now account is created. Now copy as and make it 232. 232. Okay, say okay. And this one will be new, right? New assembly line. So I'll go here, new, again make this new, enter, save. Okay, back. Now after assets we will create consumption account. So let's go to consumption account, expenses direct. I have here 130 as the consumption FG. I'll copy this and make it 131. Consumption, so I cannot use such length, so I'll say consumption FG old assembly line, old assembly. Okay. Consumption FG, I'll use the same thing, FG old assembly line. Okay, and here I will go here and change the description, old assembly line. Okay, so control data, if you see, this is cost element category will be 1, create bank interest, these are material consumption account, say sale. Okay, post automatic, so 131 is created. Now I will create for new assembly line, so new 132, so go to 132, copy as 132, rest of it everything is same. Instead of old, I'll just make it new. Okay, and enter. Okay, control data, it's the same cost element category, create bank interest G003, material consumption account, done. Now material consumption account are done. Now we will go to production variance account. Production variance account, here you see SFG production variance, you see production variance FG is there. So let me see what I have written in my PowerPoint. So 41 and 42 we will create. 40 is already there, so we have to create 141, 142. So copy this 141. Okay, enter. So I have to make it production variance. So instead of variance, I'll just say VAR. VAR. Okay, old assembly. Okay, production variance, old assembly line. Okay, then control data, it's the same thing. Cost element category is 1, create bank interest G014 adjustment accounts, post automatically on sale. Okay, again to repeat, what is the difference between price variance and production variance? Price variances are all those variances which you get on account of purchasing a material from external sources, right? That is one set of price variance, so you have a separate price variance account, right? Production variance are basically consumption related variance. For example, instead of 5 hours of labor, you spend 6 hours of labor, right? So there is a variance when the production is happening. So all the variances that is happening on account of production variances, we have marked as separate GL account. Okay, copy as 142. Okay, types and description. So here it is new assembly line. Okay, new assembly line, FG, new assembly line. Done. This is production variance. Okay, now we, once goods are produced, we receive it, at the time COGM should get credited, right? So we already have an operating income account called FG here 60. So now I'll make it 61 and 62, I'll create it. You can make use of the same COGM. I would suggest that you make use of the same COGM, but if you want a separate COGM for identification at a GL account level, you can create it. Okay, so I'll create it as 161, enter 161 FG. So I'll remove this FG, old assembly line, old assembly. So will I get one more letter? Assembly, yeah, I got it. So OFG, old assembly line. Okay, there you go. Old assembly line, copy it here and Control Z, click here, old assembly line. Control data, this is an income account, but still we are using cost element category 1 and create bank interest G006, post automatically only and save. Done. Then 162, copy as 162. Okay, it will say this also has to get mapped to your cost component structure, but we will do it when we get the message. Okay, so this is new. When we face that particular error, then we will go and fix it. Okay, so as of now we have created all the required accounts. Then the next setting is we have to go to OBYC and map these accounts. Instead of, I'll open a new screen using /o command, then the transaction code is OBYC /n OBYC. First thing is BSX inventory account. So BSX is here. Okay, chart of accounts, enter the chart of accounts. Okay, Now you need to copy this particular one, B100 B40, right? So B100 B40, I will copy it, and this will be 231. It is 231. Enter, enter, enter the key fields. No, what happened? B41, right? Sorry, copy as, okay, B41, and this is 231. Enter, okay. Copy this now, and it is B42. B42, I'll just show you. B42 is new assembly line, and the GL account is 232. So new assembly line, I have marked the inventory accounts. Done. Save. Back. Done. Now we will go to the consumption account, which is GBB VBR. Okay, go to GBB, go to VBR. In VBR, yeah, you have this consumption B40, right? We have to copy it and make it 41 and 42. So I'll copy as and make it B41, and the account is 131, 401, 4 zeros and 131. Okay, 131. Enter. Done. Then again copy this line and make one for B42. Okay, assembly line B142. So account will be 132. Okay, 132. Enter. Save. Enter. Done. So B100 GBB VBR is done. The next one is go to PRD. There's one more, right? What was that? GBB AUM. Yeah, consumption we have to do. GBB, it's AUF, right? It's AUF. So we have to mark this for B40, finished goods receipt. Let me just check what was it. GBB AUF, correct? So GBB AUF, the account is, copy this GBB AUF, this particular line, copy as B100 AUF, but now it will be B40. For B40, the account is, I think it is 160. If I go here, 160, I believe. 16, yeah, 160 is for COGM finished goods, so I'll give 160 here. But this one will be for B40, the main valuation class for finished goods. Okay. Now it says an entry with the key already exists. Is it? Where is it? Okay, it's already there. So I'll change it to B41. Assembly line hold, and this will be 161. Same here, it will be 161. Enter. Then B100 AUF, B42, 162, 162. Enter. Save. Done. Save. Back. B162. GBB AUF is also done. Now we have to go to the price difference PRD account, and in the PRD we will assign it against PRF. B40 already is there, so I'll just select this and just place your cursor and say copy as. Okay. For B41, I have to assign the account 141. So 141 is for production variance old assembly line. So I'll give it here old assembly line 1. Okay. Then B100 PRF B42, and the account will be 142. 142 new assembly line. With this, I have already we have already taken care of all the OBYC accounts. Next, we have to go and check OKTZ, whether the consumption accounts are matching. So I'll go to B1, which is our cost component structure. Go to cost components. In this SFG and FG, whether we have taken this SFG and FG, I need to check whether it covers the account. So my account was 131 and 132 for what you call finished goods old and new. Let me just check in the PPT. What was my account? 130, 231 and 232. So it is very much there. 231, but this is consumption account. Okay, in consumption account, what was my account? 401, 131 and 132. So it is very much there, so we don't have to worry. 131 and 132 is amply covered. Save. So apart from that, I don't see any other account being required here. So we can now proceed to creation of a material. If there is anything else it asks, at that point of time we will see. So let me just go to cost component structure. It is active. Let's go to B2 and check whether it is covering all the accounts. Okay, material cost, it is covering 180. Why is it covering 180 onwards for material cost? It should not, it doesn't require 180, but if it is required, we'll come back and we will do it here. So RM consumption is from 100 to 140, which is covering your GL account, right? Yours is 131, 31 and 132. Consumption accounts are covered. So I don't think the AUF will be required, but if it is required, we'll come back and set it here. 161 and 162. These three accounts we have to give. All we have to do is we'll change it to 160, then it should be okay, right? Material costs. Okay, fine. Save. Back. Done. B1, B2. Save. Then you go to MM01. We will create a material